Yeah, which small boys will graduate to that big boy status? The last roundup of NA East. Gotham City is on the map. Players are out of the bus. Lupo, here we go.
Going to be a good one. Game 6, Heat 3 here, as we've seen a 32-point game. Even just one shot. Not going to be able to do it just yet. Still trying, basically playing cat and mouse at this point, and there are more players coming in. Kenneth gets beamed. Posick finding one knock, looks for the second, realizes he doesn't have enough builds, has to drop down, but it does not matter. So Archite is also knocked, eliminated, and the ammunition is dealt out there. But Unknown Army, they're down to a 2v1 situation. Clank going for the revives. Posick's going to have to go on defense against Owl, who is just above. So have that last trio to the west starting to rotate in as everybody's bunching up. Kenneth beamed into the ground. Posick finding his third elimination. Still on defense because this next trio is inbound. Posick, the defensive position. Enough mats this early in the game. He's going to be able to defend. Going to has to can up just a little bit, giving Clank and Unknown Army an opportunity to gear up moving into the next room. They have a couple chug splashes. They're going to share those.
And a lot of spam. Posick being very smart, actually leading with the metal first, making sure he's re-editing and using it as much as possible, being very careful as to when you do re-edit it over and over again, it becomes weaker, weaker, and weaker. The big thing about this fight as well, they own a lot of the shop kind of positioning and mats around them, and it's very hard to break in when there's brick everywhere, right? There are windows blocked off by stairs, which is once again very smart. A nice quick edit through coming in, no shotgun needed. The last shot of his TAC SMG comes through, more metal gain from that Elim as well. The loadout counted now being rounded out as well too. We'll see if that's possible. A nice rev coming up as well on Unknown Army. Clank now on the driver's seat. 9,000
IQ holding that edit on the stairs and flipped as soon as the player pushed onto it. Follow through on these shots. Quick little edit. Both players moving through, thinking now's the time. If we're going to trade, we can get at least 1 or 2 knocks. Pistola goes down. Clank trying to find the next shot. Posick at this point down to about 30 HP. Clank on the defensive now. Posick going to go for that revive, pick up their teammate. Clank trying to find a way through here. Doesn't replace the wall. Leak up above. 100 and maybe 5 HP left right there. Yeah, the HP and the shield together. Last one on the team. Pistola still knocked down on the bottom. Finds a tag, but only 12 medium rounds left. This gray heavy AR is probably not going to be enough unless his aim is absolutely insane. Quick note, Benny and Diggy in the feed just picked up a pair of Elims. Stars, he gets one of his own is 81. 79, players now remaining. Pistola eliminated. That one is finished, so it is a 1v3 situation for Leak, and this is the team that pushed in from the west. So they were the aggressor in this situation. Team down below did go on defensive, and it has paid off thus far. Leak down to 34 HP, drops in 6 rounds. He's got to get the thirst just because he had no ammunition left and cannot get it. Posick, a big play there inadvertently. Even just putting himself out there to get knocked was enough. Probably the best call at that point.
And then look at the caliber and respect of Leo, which does not get answered back. They also chose to disengage and not try to grief or take beams at their enemies, but they lack the builds to protect themselves because people are still looking for any type of room to take, right? Give Ando an inch, he'll give you a heavy sniper shot.
Quick note, the team that they're pushing in on now, they're very, very close to qualifying. They're in 9th place currently, which means this is a tough spot for them. Team inside, if Leo and gang can find their way out of this, then they'll be okay, but this might be the end of qualifying for them, depending on how RBK handles the situation. The C here still up on the high ground at this point. The reload, very important. He does have the tack to swap to if somebody pushes out of their box, which, I mean, in the position he's in, he has that catty corner spot. He can watch left and right side of whichever box his opponent's inside. That's big, because if you see somebody come out, you take that quick shot, even a heavy snipe to stop maybe a roof being built, you can follow through with a tack. That being said, swap out is kind of slow, but here we go. The push inside can't quite find a beat until the very last second, and that elimination, the siphon, is actually what stops him from ticking out to the storm.
Yep, find some bandages as well that they can split apart. 10 actually, and they have a launch pad to get into. Zone does seem to be actually a minute away, so these guys have to get bumping and moving. They do have apples, chili peppers as well. A recent change to them is they last 1 minute long.
To make his way in, there we go. There's the edge of the storm. They should be able to get in without much issue. Plus, they're actually relatively lucky. The next safe zone is north side focused. Wait.
It's taco time, but he can't almost pop a bandage.
He won't be able to. He's going to have to get picked up.
They have chunk splashes also. This is a possibility to either scoot him in the zone or pick him back up. There are bandages on his body, but I think the zone is ticking fast. J-Love is low himself. This could be really, really bad for this trio.
Taco Time may have been their last. We'll have to see here in a second. The southwest corner of the map. We've talked about it before. It is one of the full commit spots. Tfue down here, looking to make a move into the next portion of the safe zone. They're inside already. They want a better position, a more advantageous spot. They have a decent loadout, but Tfue's ammunition, and you are able to look out either side. You do basically the opposite corner edit, so it gets an open triangle, and you are so covered right there, it's insane. So that's, if you're looking for edits while you're sitting inside boxes to take peeks out, that's a big one to look at. If you missed it, check back in the VOD, see how Tfue is doing that. That's very, very important. McLeod finding a bead on an opponent, gets that knock. One elimination right now for the trio. Cloud, Snood, Twifo, they won the last game. Moving into the next one, already in a great spot. A lot of materials in Snood's inventory as we were looking at them, and that bubble goes down, making a little bit of a move out.
But now knowing that so many people play passive in their builds, are so tight on rotating and using mats, that scope there is the only way to kind of reach people through medium range.
It's like Dolph on the flyby right there, taking a ton of damage from Tfue. Canada and Fiber. Going to make a move over now. Still eyes all the way up on top of the mountain. There is a team up there at the top of Polar, and they do find tags and a follow through. Tfue, the elimination. A little bit of a siphon there at the 64. Finds players on the inside of that box just as the window edit comes on through. He's going to sit inside this pyramid. Pop a slurp. Probably a decent chance to pick up. Here you go. Some minis. There are some splashes in the inventory as well. A little bit of a loadout swap out here. A lot of stuff sitting on the ground. A solid pickup for this trio.
Yep, that elim might prove a little bit too costly for their health bank account, because right now they've had to use 2 slurps, multiple chugs, and are still getting hurt by all these stinks at the moment.
Very, very healthy, and they have the high ground right now, so they have a chance to beam players on rotation. I think I can see into the future. KBK Plays does get knocked inside the box. Don't know if they'll be able to follow through on that. Are going to apply a little bit of pressure, but the rest of that team is not too far away. While another trio moving in there as well. We can see the silhouettes, and I got to say, the density of players inside that build of the immediate west is getting pretty high. It's getting pretty populated in there. At some point, pressure's going to have to come through from somebody.
Yeah, Blue Boy, you're seeing it too. These guys right now, from what I see, just have 2 shockwaves to move about. All the stuff that has to happen for them to have pressure on the server has to be before this next zone moves or while it's moving, because after that, the hardest thing to do is hold height from 5th zone on high ground without any additional supplements in your inventory through utility. So they do have a few shockwaves split, but I don't see a launch pad anywhere at the moment unless there's a hidden one or they're going to be recycling some around them. This is where pressure has to come through. Ghoul taking down Aircool and Cadet on the top left. Their run ends here. We'll check in with the standings after to see where they place. Hopefully they had enough mid-game engagement, put themselves up on top of the leaderboard. But now the zone moves, and now decisions must be made. There's no more time to minigun. This is where you have to look out. There's a launch pad coming in first.
The hidden launch pad, as you mentioned earlier. 15 trios remaining. 3 more need to go down that we get in placement points. And keep in mind, this is the final game of this heat, which will determine who qualifies for the finals tomorrow. Stowe, Fuzzy, Panda sitting on 93 points, landing on the tree. Quick little farm up there. Quite a few materials. 92 builds in Stowe's inventory. You have a player, I love seeing this in trios. You have a player that is basically in charge of building and moving the team forward as they tarp out. Meanwhile, Stowe taking the chance to take some shots through a quick little window edit and see if he can find a tag or 2. And he does find a tag or 2, and Slade pays the price. Big elimination there. Another point for this trio. 14 remaining. 2 more need to go down.
Yep, this is what's called an excellent path, right? Stowe did pick up a very nice elim very fast, but it would not be possible without the person pathing. Lupo, absolutely right. It's great to see people actually move forward. At the same time, too, right? You talked about player identity and their roles. He's not afraid to go in, right? It's the same thing with his loadout. He doesn't have anything left but that shockwave. He's going to be all-inning anyone. That's why he's lagging behind, because he doesn't want to tunnel vision improperly for his team, sending himself forward. Now we're looking at Canada on the high ground.
As per usual, I'm just going to say it, this is where Tfue lives, sitting all the way up top. I'd like to point out Canada down from 12 RPGs to 2 now, so he's put 10 out. 4 eliminations right now for the trio, and they're going to keep on building forward, staying at the forefront of the zone and looking back. This is a big, big choice. Big shot on the side there, rotating through 54 shield on whoever that was flying past. Canada going to build back up, get that high ground back for this trio, but shoots back. Second to last RPG shot, can't quite connect, but you see there the quick mark, calls out. There are guys in this box. It's Posick, gets found, gets eliminated, continues the move through, and we are down to the top 7 trios.
Yep, retail only gets you so far. The top 7 trios, one of the best ones in the heat at the very tip top of Polar Mountain at the moment. We just saw the lobby go down from about 30 people all the way to 12 because they have to kind of get into each other. Volri going down. Kanata is down on his own. 2 launch pads left, 10 trios or 6 trios left alive with 10 people. Tifu owns everything up top. No one's even trying to contest him at the moment. He's going to be building up. Has no ammo in his attack. There's a big beam coming in off of height 2. He goes down. They have lost their advantage. It's just Tifu now. Fiber is down. Kanata gets his life taken away too. 6 elims in total. 1 placement away from getting 3 points. An elim possibility as well. Hard mats all around. Fiber. Arab popping off as well. He could possibly qualify if he got enough points too. Everything's on the line at the moment. Hard mats. The left hand peak comes through. Arab goes down. We'll see if he gets enough to pop through. Tifu now. The solo Molo individual. We'll see if he can come through. No pump. There is actually a pump available at the moment. No tax. So he has an advantage on peak shots. Jalen going straight down. Parpy getting knocked too. The 2 for 1. Dwifo is alive all the way at the
He's
top.
all the way at the top.
The
He's by
heal game on
himself.
Zori isn't enough. He doesn't have mats to build all the way up. Zori has no heals. 3, 2, 1. He wins the game. Dwifo positioning, trumping over the clutch moments. Ghosting on the whole lobby. Celebrate with your dance. Zeke, Sundown.
A final chance. This was it. Who is going through as the top 8 right there? Aircool, Cadet, and Reloads make it through, edging out Roat DW, Hornet, and Tickers. Even Class, Ghoul, and Emad were edged out as well. I mean, this is insane. So Fuzzy and Stowe, we saw them. They developed that early lead, and they just held it the whole time. Thwyfel there, that last game, the 15 points from the Victory Royale spiked them upwards, putting them all the way in second. There you go, Canada, Fiber, and Tifu recently formed. They're going to grand finals.
I mean, very well done. And again, you can see there's a drop-off right after those top 3, 20 points. And then even then, there's a drop-off again right around here with the 7 points. So a decent spread going off, but big shout-outs again. OC boys clutching up in the final moments. You saw them there. They did get pinned against Old Man Mountain, but were able to get a number of elims. Also, Tylars and Painful, who have been around forever with Blake as well, able to get into the grand finals in the last moment. So we talked about it. When can you clutch up? When are you able to be a hero and make sure there is more Fortnite to play on Sunday? You don't want to be stuck there watching. You want to be a part of that final moment. You want a chance to be able to be the first ever Season X champion in your region.